G'day everyone, Prep Aussie here. I hope you're all well in whatever part of the world you're watching this video. Many apologies for not doing a video earlier, but look, in all honesty, things have been pretty hectic, and in two ways: one, personal, and two, in regards to the Nibiru leadership group that I'm in. There has been tons and tons of stuff coming in, and I've been testing them and trying to prioritize the stuff that's coming in from the group more than anything. And I also, within the group, we're doing an experiment at the moment, for want of a better term, as regards to sunsets. So, our focus mainly is that at the moment. But don't worry, we haven't forgot everybody. We're still here. We're still alive, and hoping to show you guys some facts. Out of all the images I've been sent lately, I got this one sent to me today, and I'm going to do a test on this live while you guys are watching it. And the reason I'm going to do that is because I've seen this 100 times, and I think you guys, if you're actually the realms that we're dealing with, then you would probably realise that these are the original images taken from the NASA Hubble telescope, JPL NASA. What's interesting is that I've never seen these any different than what we're looking at them now. I can't recall anybody testing them, doing anything to them, nothing. So what I'm going to do is actually go through this now and see what we can see in regards to testing scenario. Now, as you can see, this was sent in on email. There it is there. And all I've done is just changed it over to the GIMP program that I use. So one thing that I do have to do is take this up to, say, 300, which makes it slightly bigger, but doesn't really affect the pixelation too much, as you can see. Right, that's the images there, still the same ones. Yeah, look, they're all a bit weather bitten. I can't vouch for, the absolute authenticity of these, authentication, because I don't have it. Basically, as per usual, we're relying on NASA JPL to issue these correctly. Well, after that great statement, sorry, it's 11 o'clock at night here, and I was going to go to bed, but I thought, no, I better do this, it's more important. Obviously, they've got the timestamps here, 95, 96, sorry. I don't think it goes to 97, all 96, 95 and 96, okay? The first thing that strikes you, which didn't strike me when I first started looking at this, is the fact that there's two light sources here. Two distinct light sources, not one, but two, which should worry everybody straight away. Now, I'm going to tell you, I've already tested these, and that's why I'm doing it again live so you guys can see it. I'm not going to lie to you, there's a fair bit in these that would make you realise that if people were sitting in, or shiny bums were sitting in somewhere in America and they got this landed at their desk, they'd absolutely run down hallways doing a wounded seagull. So let's go through it now. So that's inverted. Obviously you can see objects very clearly. Now here's the thing, you can't jump to conclusions and tell that these are Nibiru. You just physically can't, because we don't know that they are. you know, because there is other planets in space, folks. Don't forget that. But what we can do by the process of elimination is go through them and see what their significance is. You'll see what I mean in a minute. So isn't this interesting? This is a full circle, but it's blotted out by this. Okay. Value invert on top of the invert. Now, the reason I do that is because it just picks up everything that's behind the front. So now I'm actually going in the back now, and I'm actually, it's like an X-ray, for want of a better term, or it is to me. Like I said, once again, you can clearly see objects, more objects in there. That's why I like using the value invert, because it actually shows you sometimes more than what the actual invert does. Like I said, look at that. See that? That's telling us that that is extremely hot. Let's go downstairs, a little downstairs. You know, you can clearly see the objects in the background. Like I said, we can't say that it's Nibiru because we don't bloody know that it is. Simple as that. Look at that. Jeez. Okay. So then what I do, come out of that, come out of that. This is just value invert. What do you see there? Jesus. The strange thing is that, you know, I didn't know how to test these properly a year ago. I was having a good stab at it, but I believe I'm getting there. Now, this is where it gets interesting. Can you see that big object behind there? Look at the size of that thing. It's like, if this is the sun, it's a quarter of the size of the sun. Now, it gets a bit pixelated, doesn't it? You can clearly see that there's a big circle in the background there, but you can also see that there's several objects in the front. Sorry. Keep forgetting it's in GIMP. See this? Look, there it is again. There it is again. It's bloody massive, whatever it is. And here we go. There it is again. Now, I may need to be stand corrected, but as far as I know, the Hubble telescope does not do lens flares because of the particular type of instrument it is. It's, you know, $1 billion thingo camera. So I guess someone would be pretty pissed off if they ended up with lens flares every day. So let's go to the gamma test. I'll take it down and I'll go through it so you can see how they change. Sorry, do it again. See, if you take it too far down, if I take it all the way down, you notice that on the second picture, for example, this one with my cursor, I'm kind of losing the background images. So, you know, there's images, there's objects there, obviously, but I'm losing a good bulk of the images, which is not what I want to do, as you'll see in a second. See, I'm losing all these ones around here. And I've learned over the last year to just ease back on the old gamma test, just a fraction. You know, like I said, I can take it right back down to here. But we're dealing with things in space. And if we're looking for a red dwarf, brown dwarf planet, then technically they don't have their own heat stamp because they're in the ultra violet, I believe, resolution. Because they don't have heat as such. Now, what happens when I take it all the way up? Look, this is my point. You can see all these objects. That's why I do it. It like gives me a second view of the one that I didn't have before. Down and up. Really, that's where we want to be, about there. You know, there's something really interesting in this drawing, this picture, sorry. You'll notice that I don't insert and I don't put in any objects at all. None. Absolutely zip. Zip, zero, nilch, nada. Just in case anyone wants to say that I am. I'm showing you live, so and I do not have the technical skills, sorry, to be able to do that on a computer. Sure, I can sit here and muck around with the colors and test it, but I'm not much chop at computers, to be honest with you. Okay, this is where it gets interesting. So what I'm going to do, this is the hue, the lightness, and the saturation. So watch what happens if I take it up or I take it down. Black and white. And remember, black and white doesn't lie. So if I take it up, it sort of gets a bit too far up. I've learnt this lately, that I was making a mistake earlier and I was taking it too far up. Basically, all I want to do is just come off onto the color scheme slightly so that I can still see everything and not drown it out with too much color, or the color spectrum is raised too high, i.e. bright, too bright. Does that make sense? Okay. You know, I'll dick around with it while we're doing. I'll change it from here to there just to see what differences there are. But normally now I just stay around here so that I get a sharper image. It's kind of like having brightness and contrast, but a better version. Now, obviously, this is lightness, go up, down, up. I do it to see what's at the bottom, because some things stand out better than others. And I do it at the top just to see what happens when that happens. You know, and already we're seeing differences in the picture because the highlight is higher. It's highlighting things better. So it's kind of like having an X-ray machine. Now, this is obviously the color change. And as I said, I haven't seen anybody do this with these images. There might have been some, might have been no one. But here, have a look at this one, for example. Didn't see this one here before, did we? Now, these are direct NASA images, supposedly, that were put out by NASA, but then were withdrawn by NASA. So let's just go through this together. Let's just pick this photo to start with and just see where we get to. Basically, folks, all I'm doing is changing the color spectrum, because just like an X-ray, different things will show up under different light spectrums. So that's the theory behind this. See, look how clear that picture is. Not too flash on this one, but when I showed you before, it was better. See, and that's basically all I do. Change the color spectrum. The objects are there. If you really, really want to find them, you'll find them. You might put them there, obviously, but you will find them. Look, let's go to the second image. Now, as I said to you, I can take that up as bright as I like and change the color spectrum and see if anything dastardly pops out at us, but I can't see anything. So just take it back down just a little bit. Look, if you look over here, for example, there's something huge here, but because of the color spectrum, it's not showing up properly. And it may not show up. You know, is it a glitch? Maybe. Is it something real? Maybe. You just got to keep changing the color scheme to see if it comes out. Is it a laborious subject? Yes, extremely. So you got to want to have the fun to do it straight off. But just look at how many objects are in this picture, folks. Sorry, let me take this down again. Just to there, right. Just look at that. Oh, that's just coming with a whole heap of junk behind it, literally. So have a look at this image now. Was there 4 images? I'm on 8 images. Not much to see up. Not much to see down. But still a lot to see in there, isn't it? Now, cast your eye up the back here, because this is where this becomes important. So if you look at this image, I'm not going to take it up anymore because I don't, let me go up one more and see what happens. Yeah, see what happens when I take it up? Just too much. So let's go back down. And you've got to do these at a reasonable level. Now, if you can see that up the back there, that is one huge planet with one little one in front of it. And it is massive. See that? Now you know why I take it down and up and change the colours. See, if I did that, I'd only just see it. I'd just see the outline of it there. So, hence the reason why I do this. Now you know it's there. You can see it, no problem at all. And of course, you know, it's got all the other stuff with it. Okay. Not much to see there on that one. Let's go downtown. Now, if you look closely, you can see once again that is something in there that is bloody huge. Look, look at them all pop out. Look at this. See that sphere there? It's just a complete round circle. You see it? Now you see it. Look, folks, whatever that is absolutely bloody humongous. We want to take it down. It just makes it too bright. Okay, moving on to the next one. There she blows. Look at the size of that thing. Jeez. You see it there in the middle? Look at it. It is ginormous. It's half the size of this thing. And then if you really, hang on, let me go back to the last one. Yeah, it was these two. If you really cast your eye back just a bit in here, you see that planet? I'm pretty sure this was the one I was doing before. Nah, can't see it. Yeah, it's this one. Right. I'll take the light up. None of these other images show you this image, but look at, there is a complete circle here. Now, for some strange reason, these have got the vapor trails coming off. But behind that vapor trail, you can actually see a huge, like it's just monstrous. Just in the background, just here. You see that now? Look at that. Folks, that thing is scary big. There you go. There you can see it. Look at that. Let's go back to the other one. No, I'm not sure now if that is one. It seems a bit odd to me that it's actually shown up like that, because that is a perfect circle. So I can only assume that it is. And you notice how these are dark. Yeah, this is dark as well, but it's just got that outline there that looks like, the vapor trails are going over it. But what surprised me when I looked at it the first time was the size of that. Then this is no slouch either, and it's got another mate there. And then you've also got this massive one in here. So no wonder Shiny Bum got the drawings or the pictures that day and they took it off the net. Jeez, you would have flipped, wouldn't you? Oh my God, it's the end of the earth. Blah, blah, blah. Be interesting if that guy ever stepped forward, the first bloke who ever got this picture. That would be something to write home about. And once again, look at the size of this thing here. Folks, we're dealing with things here that are just absolutely huge. Just absolutely huge. Still there. Oh, goes around, goes around. It's got that massive great thing there. So that tells me that that is the same as that, because that's got the same planets on it. One there, huge one there. So it must be the same. Okay, this is the last two now. Let's see what we can find. And here she blows. Look at the size of that thing. Can you see that? Bloody Nora. That's the same object. See the one in the background? And it's got that one in front of it. It is exactly the same as this one. The big object with the other one just there in front of it. So that's it from a different angle. And the other thing is, look at the size of this thing at the back. Look at that. Jeez. There you go, look how big that is. And look, honestly, I think they're about both the same size. Right, next one, last one. Don't think there's much to see in this one. No, it can't be, surely. Tell me I'm dreaming. No, I'm not. Gee, look at the size of that thing. There you go, look at that. That there is the size of that object. And that's the one that's in front of it. There you go, you can see it now. Look at the size of it. It is bloody huge. Bloody hell. There you go, that cleans it up a bit more. Folks, you can even see it when the bloody lights like that. I've taken the brightness right up and you can still see it. Bloody hell, that is, jeez. That goes, look how big it is. It goes right round. And it's got one, you can see the planets in front of it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 huge planets sitting in front of it. There you go. You can see it really clear now. And you can see the other ones that are with it. No way. Look how big that is. Bloody hell. I wonder old Shiny Pants shit himself. Jesus. There you go. Black and white doesn't lie. There she blows. Well, folks, as I said, I just wanted to do that test on the Hubble images because I've never done it before and I wanted to really truly see what was there. The interesting thing is that yesterday Scott sent me a picture, which I'll find for you now. And these are those images that Scott found last night on the cactus Lasco. So as you can see, it's got the massive huge one behind, like I just showed you. If you have a look here, you can actually see the shadow lines. So there's 1 planet, 2, and then there's another one on the top, like a big pimple. They're all very similar in line, which tells you that they must be in their own orbit. Whether you find that picture now all the planets have probably moved since then and they're not in line anymore. Interesting to note as well that over here, and hopefully I can go through and show you. There you go. There's two huge planets over here as well that everybody missed. And, these two are not small by any means either. Look at that. And they've got their own planet system with it. So there's a fair bit going on at the moment. This was a brilliant catch by Scott, because these are the things that we just have to find out and we have to know. You can clearly see that planet there. Look, one there, another massive thing here, and that thing is huge. Another one there, another one here, another huge one up here, and these two over here. All right, folks, I've rambled on enough. I reckon you're all bored probably by now. So let's finish off how we always finish off, with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, for ever and ever. Amen. God bless everyone. Prep out.